I want to highlight.
Yeah, but I could say.
I want to highlight.
I'm worth more than your job. I'm getting paid.
I want to highlight the parallel. Okay, say that one more time. You're worth more. One more.
I think I get what you're saying. I'm getting like. Okay. You're basically saying.
I'm saying you're buying.
You're going back to the addition. That was the addition. The addition is for you to abide by their rules.
I'm saying your expressive tendencies to feel like you can come anytime you want, making me feel sick based on the fact that my God is time. I mean, you disrespect my God, you disrespect me.
Yeah, but I believe that being in the right place at the right time is important. So
that's why. That's why you are not getting the promotion.
Remember, there's somebody.
Do you understand? That's what I'm trying to say to you. That's what I'm just saying to you. And I'm not being in any way condescending. This is. You could see this as an improv. I just want to display. If I was to be the boss, right, and I was to say, and you were to sign a contract to say that you were going to be here at 9, and you were to get here at 9:05. I'm not crazy. If you get here at 9:02, it's fine. But if you get at 9:05, I look at you from my office. 9:05, I look at you from my office. 9:10, I come out of my office and I say, "Excuse me, you're late." What do you say?
So I'm late. Or say why I'm late.
And then you say sorry you're late, and I say. I say, right? 60 minutes an hour. I pay you every 10 minutes. I pay. Huh?
Lighting that.
Yeah. And I say to you, I pay you every. If it's just 60 minutes an hour, I pay you every hour.
Yeah, and I'll get
so
what
that's
you're saying.
getting deducted from your wages.
Based on your concept of time, if the company's running on time, then yeah, I'm wrong. I'm never going to get promotion. That's what it's based on.
That's definitely what it's based on.
But I don't think that's what it's based on, personally.
Hey, can you make a puree?
Yeah, you can. Yeah.
Oh shit.
You smoke? What do you smoke?
I smoked a puree.
Oh yeah.
Well, I was thinking maybe you could smoke it with me.
Oh, let me get the Rizza.
That's cool, man. So what do you think about that? Huh?
Yours first, you want. But I think about what?
What do you think about that? Because a lot of people think I'm very harsh. I'm saying.
No. But
do you think I'm very harsh?
No, if you based it on time, then that's.
I'm based on time.
No, if you're basing it on time, then you're correct.
But you know why I'm basing it on time?
Why time?
Because life is music, and time is rhythm.
Yeah.
And so if you disturb my rhythm, you upset my flow.
That's a good concept.
Do you understand what I'm trying to tell you? That's why
being the boss. So you're saying that's what
is to be being the boss is to be the dictator of time. That's what being the boss is. That's why when you come in, you say sorry, I'm late. You say sorry. You apologize. As if you've done something wrong. You've done nothing wrong. You've broken the contract, though. That's what you've done wrong. Because on one level, you agreed to be there at 9. And on another level, you're saying, fuck your contract. You see what I'm saying? So on one level, you're saying, I agree to be here at 9. I abide by that. I abide by that. But on another level, you're saying, yeah, not important. I just said that just so I can get the job. And that makes people blood boil. Because they're looking for the right candidate. They're looking for someone.
The boss is not. The only way the boss would know is by your clocking in times.
No. The boss has his office right by the reception.
No, I'm saying at my workplace, but you're saying.
I'm just telling you at my workplace.
Okay.
Because I'm the boss. And I'm telling you, when I created the office, I made it so I could see everybody who comes in. And when they came in, I could see.
In that base, in that way, yeah.
And they agreed to be there at 10. So I don't want them coming at 10:05. If they come at 10:05, that's okay. But not every day. And if they come at 10:10, we have to talk. Because it can't happen again. Based on the fact that...
So why do you think people are lazy? Do you think it's just laziness?
Why do I think that people are lazy?
Yeah. I mean, late. Sorry.
Late? What? Yeah. It's not disciplined. It's a lack of discipline.
I think that's what it is.
I have a lack of discipline. That's why I found trouble to be on time. But as I gained disciplined, I started scaring people based on the fact that I would try to be there before you. And then you feel like you have to say sorry to me. So once you start taking control of time, you don't never have to say sorry anymore. So not sorry for nothing. But you have to take control of something. What do you control? As I said to you, you know what I'm saying, in life, power, control. What is it that you have total control over?
What do I have total control over?
Yeah. But that's more specific to you. Based on the fact that everybody exists here, we have to all ask a question, what is it that we have total control over? But yeah, what do you have control over? And what is it that you... Because you said... Because let me ask you, would you like to be the boss? Because you said that, yeah, because you're actually saying...
What, of my workplace?
Yeah, but based on the fact that you're telling me that you feel like you're not given the promotion that you feel like you have merit for, but then you're also telling me on one level that you're late.
I wouldn't personally say me, I'd want to be in that position.
I'm not saying you, but...
But yeah,
I don't
personally want to be the boss.
But you represent black people.
Of my
perspective. Do you feel like you represent black people?
Do I feel like I represent black people?
Yeah.
And you're just saying what, in being late?
No, in your company.
Do I represent black people?
Yeah. Because you're there,
just
right?
because I'm black, innit? I have to.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Based on the fact that you're a minority. So, given the fact that you're late and the fact that you're a minority, isn't that making us look bad? Yeah. And I don't want to put any emotion on that.
No,
I don't want to put any emotion on that. I'm just saying, if it was a game, and
just
it had
based
to be
on what you're saying, yeah.
And it has to be a statistical basis on who is representing black people.
But you're only basing it on time now.
I'm basing it on time.
Only time.
I'm based on the fact, based on time, because time is the system.
Just being on time.
Time is the system. That's what I'm trying to say. Clocking in, clocking out. Prison, they call it the system, and they say doing time.
Yeah, that's true. Time is the system, right?
So that system.
So they call it time, innit? Because literally we do follow that time.
Right, bro. Maritime we follow.
For the good.
We're married to the time.
That's very true.
And it's not just true, it's kind of scary.
It's scary in the way you say it.
It's scary, so that's why I'm doing my best to get control of time. Because that there is where the key lies. I need as much time as possible so I can be as free as possible doing whatever the fuck I want to do.
Yeah, that's do you know what? I didn't know that. This is stupid in this moment.
Right.
Life is about getting more time, innit? You're trying to buy time.
Right. You need it.
You have some more you can do.
More you can do, but you need finances to live within the time.
But money basically is time. If you look at it.
How do you make me understand that? Based on the fact that I'm a stubborn kid. I'm never gonna believe you. I'm never gonna believe that money is time. So how do you make sure that I understand that? Good question, right?
No, I get
Yeah, it's a good question because you're gonna have to be talking to kids based on the fact that if you're older than people, that you're teaching youngers. Yeah,
you can give so many examples of why you need time, but then again,
why do you need time?
There's a few keys.
Why do you need money for time?
Well, I was gonna say there's a few keys of what you actually need in life. Health. And health, you can say, is oxygen followed by many other stuff. Well, I said oxygen because obviously no oxygen, you can't grow food. Food is oxygen as well, and you breathe it in. So the oxygen has to be the first number one, the first key.
Health is what?
Well, I'm saying oxygen, isn't it?
Being healthy to breathe,
Yeah. So that's got to be the key, the first key to life. Obviously, it goes down to looking after your body too. If you're not looking after your body, you'll die, innit? Which you obviously said health, but
gotta look after your body because
I've got to make sure that I'm not doing something that's going to mess my body up, innit? So it could be walking across the road and getting run over. It could be anything. I've got to be careful. So another key would be consciousness, isn't it? I have to be conscious of my decisions, of my actions, of my choices, what I do, what I don't do.
What does this have to do? But what does this have to do with power?
No.
That's
why.
Power. That's why I'm a stubborn kid.
Power.
I'm only focused on
No,
power.
what I'm doing is stripping it down, leading up to that. But
okay, go on.
But it's I'm saying there's a number of things before I get to that position, innit? Because the most important thing first is me breathing, right? Even more than me having a job. So job's not that important. Yeah?
Right.
So money's not that important.
Can't
I'm
live
not
without
breathing, money, there's no need for me to have any money for me to even buy anything because I'm already dead. So I need that. That's got to be my first key. So breathing is my first key.
Number one.
Yeah? And with breathing comes with health. Yeah?
Right.
And then you can put food by itself and say food, if I don't eat, I don't have the energy to even get up to go to work. So that's out the window, isn't it? So eating is definitely important. Now, how am I going to eat? That's important. Like, how do I eat and how much does it cost to eat? That's where money comes into play. So now money becomes important now because I can't eat if I don't have money. So food is being erased from that position, and now money's more important than food.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes, money's more important
Yeah?
than food, yes.
Because I can't eat if I don't have it. So it's if you look at it, yeah, we started off with oxygen is the key, yeah? First key. Yeah?
Yeah.
Breathing. And then consciousness was second.
Yeah.
Because I ain't conscious, I can't even make decisions to do that in the first place. Yeah? And then the next one was food, right?
Yeah.
Now food has been overtaken by money. Money is now dropped. Money is actually third in line.
Would you like a fan? There's one over there.
No, I'm okay.
Okay.
Money
is
third in line now because there's no point of me having food if I can't even get it, farm it, cook it, make it myself, let alone I have to get it somehow. So I need money to get it. And this is reality rather than I'm able to go off trees and live off the plant.
Yeah, based on where we live.
Yeah, the way we live. No.
Where we live. Because where we live,
I'm not going to say where we live.
Doesn't offer much fruitful.
It does.
Potential for the soil here doesn't grow much. It's potatoes and mushrooms.
See, then it comes down to what you class as food. Because if you're not saying that a leaf on a tree, nor
can you eat leaves?
The flower, nor the nuts that it grows, nor the fruits that it grows, nor
Can you eat that?
That's it. Nor the insects that are always around you.
Remember, I'm a stubborn kid. Remember?
Yeah, I'm breaking it down. I'm saying if you're not acknowledging these stuff as food, there's a lot of food, because what's their food? How do they exist? How do they live?
Who?
Insects, trees, and all this. So they have food as well. They also have a supply that's keeping them alive. But they would die exactly the same way as we would die. See what I'm saying?
But they don't live
the only thing is
live in the system.
They don't need money. They only need.
They don't live in the system.
Number one is oxygen for them to survive. Yeah.
Yeah.
And number two is, well, for them, I think consciousness does play some form of role. And I couldn't say a tree is not conscious at all of its existence.
It doesn't live in the system, though, do you think?
No.
Oh, it does.
It does live in the system. It's definitely part of the system.
It's a different system.
But
do you think trees are stressed?
I would say trees don't need money, so it's basically just oxygen, consciousness, and food, and that's the three things that it needs to survive, and it will survive with those things. Well, as long as it has those three things, it's going to survive. It has to go through obviously weathers and the natural disasters that can happen. But with us, same scenario. Like why money has to be third in our life. But some of us even put it before our health. Some of us are not even aware that we're breathing. So that means we're already dead. We haven't even gone past the stage of even being conscious. We're already dead. Because they don't even aware of it. If you don't know, some people don't even know how to breathe. Which is a big problem.
Would you say that death?
Huh?
What do you think death is?
Death is.
What's death to you? Death is different to everyone.
I could say death is the beginning. Death is the ending. It can mean many different things to many different people. But death is the next you're transcending, isn't it? Because you're changing form. So because of the oxygen that was running in your system, the blood, making your heart work.
But do you think
now not there no more, so it can't work.
Do you think you're transcending if?
Therefore, you go back to being
What about
food.
what about descending?
Descending.
Because you said that death is transcending.
Yeah, because they descended.
But what about descending? Do you think that anyone is not getting upgrades? They're getting downgrades.
Going down.
Going down.
Yeah. I suppose you can say death is a descending.
But what if you?
So you're going down to another level.
But you said it's transcending before.
Well, I said transcending because you could go into another. You go into another consciousness, isn't it? Because you're still conscious. I don't think you lose your consciousness actually.
What do you think happens to your consciousness?
Let's just say your body happens to be your system and it's no longer working. So you go back to being what you was before you had the body. Your vessel.
But what about this? What about this?
Because we're talking about.
What about this transcending?
Sorry, I missed a very important one.
Yeah.
Earlier on when I was saying in the order. But I would probably start it by saying energy. I can't believe I missed out energy. So every one of those things that I named is energy. Every single one of them. Where it's taking in the oxygen, which is energy. It's going to fuel, it's going to do something, it's going to do the job. Whereas consciousness, which is still energy. Whereas food or money, which is still energy, because money is energy, isn't it? The more money you have, the more energy you have. You can do stuff with it. You can run stuff.
But
that make stuff happen.
No. I think the more energy you have, the more money you have.
Yeah, I'm saying energy is the key. I was going back to energy.
Because if you have money, but you're lazy.
No, but those things are now Those things are now from how we started energy. The energy is now transferred into every single other area.
Yeah.
Because now everything is energy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because like I said earlier on, the oxygen is very important. Of course, it's very important.
Yeah.
But it is energy at the end of the day. Because I could buy oxygen. And I could have more engine than you. I could be running on more engine than you right this second if I had my oxygen tank on me right now.
No, but it's all about how your body's using the oxygen.
No, but
because if your body's not good at catalyzing that oxygen, it's not going to be.
Very true, but the whole body still needs oxygen.
Nobody needs oxygen. You can't pay for a better. You can't pay for a better body.
I take it in from my nose.
You can't pay for a better body. It runs
down through my lungs and goes to the heart and pumps up for the blood. And it goes all the way around my body. But I need it. My whole body needs it. My whole body will die if it doesn't get enough of it. And things will stop working because it doesn't get enough of it. So you take in food, the food travels, has a lot of oxygen in it, and it goes to where it goes when it's inside your body. You're taking in your system. Just keeping you alive. How was that?
Thank you.
Yeah, cool.
No, the truth about oxygen, but
it's very important.
If we're gonna skip the long part and go straight to the fruit of it. And talk about the people in the system who feel like they need a job so they can live, because it takes a lot of effort to be self-sustaining in terms of having a business. So that the easy thing to do is to go and work for someone else based on where you live and how many opportunities there are. And most people are going to go do the easy thing.
To be honest, it's actually lazy.
It's actually called the road less traveled. The road less traveled is the path you're supposed to take towards enlightenment. But most people take the more trodden path, the one that's more obvious because everybody else has walked down it. But when it comes to taking a path where the distance from A to Z is not clear, it's fear again. That fear restricts power. That's the truth. If you have fear for something, you can't have power over it. But you want power over it. And that's the racism.
So where does power come into play in what I said? So that'd be after all those?
Where does power come into play?
You need power. Yeah,
well, everything, power is contained in all of them, but not all of them give you the key to power. Power itself still remains elusive, even if you were to explain to a stubborn kid.
Do you need power though?
Yes.
Why?
You need power because you need to live. You need power because you need to live.
You need energy to live, but
you need power to live.
Why do you need power to live?
Because energy is power. You need power.
Yeah.
You need power. Power.
You don't need power though.
You do need power.
But saying power is the
But
thing.
then again, if we're gonna come to a defining, what is power? Again, you have your understanding.
No, what is it? Yeah, what is it you're saying that power is?
What is power? Power is control. Yeah. It's control.
Yeah, but that same power will get you killed too at the same time.
What same power?
Wanting the control.
That's different. That's not power. Wanting.
No, when you have the control.
Wanting and having is.
When you're in control, everyone knows you're at the top. So I know.
But
if I want to be at the top, I've got to take you.
Not everybody knows. Only people attack what they see.
Yeah, the people that you can see, innit?
That's the people you can see. But nobody ever said that you should be a showy powerman.
You should.
It's just depending on what it is that you're doing. What is the power for? Everybody has power in different ways, different amounts. I will say there is no one powerful one man. That isn't true.
There's no one powerful man.
There's no one powerful being that has
more
power.
powerful than any other person. No,
not in that capacity. Given the fact that we can all raise our power level.
Are you actually talking about a human being or something more?
Well, of course, yeah.
Yeah.
And of course, there
as a human being.
entities that exist on other dimensions. They again want power.
They want power.
Of course. How would you otherwise know of the name of a demon if it didn't state its name?
That's true.
It wanted you to know it, so it spoke to you.
But you're saying after it's existing, it's got all the stuff it needs to exist, which is food, which is consciousness, food.
By the way, you can never have enough power. That's where demons actually get created. Because power is addictive. Control is addictive. That's how people lose themselves in power. That's why they say ultimate power corrupts. That's why I said to you, no one man controls all of it. Because that would be a dictator. And notice how the word fury is so common, it's so clear to the word Führer.
Fury?
And Führer, which is...
I mean Führer.
The Führer is German for leader.
Okay.
And leader is German for song.
Leader?
Leader is German for song.
Song?
Yeah.
Okay. It's interesting.
And leader is German. It's German for song. But it's clear now. Don't you think it's very similar? Fury and Führer.
Fury.
Fury. And when you talk about evil and fury, anger, power, pain.
I was fury.
Furious. Fury is a fearful state.
Yeah, definitely.
But they say Führer. And I say that everybody says German. Most people say German on a daily basis and don't know.
Say German words.
Every day. The most common use of a German word is mine.
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 Mine can.
That's mine, not yours.
Is that German, yeah?
Of course. It's the frequency. It's the sound. Do you understand what I'm trying to say to you? But if you were to say, well, who is in power in this country? Why is it that there's German inside English? And then you have to look at the lineage of the Plantagenet, which is the name for the royal family that they've given themselves.
The Plantagenet.
The Plantagenet.
Is there what royal family?
This royal family.
It's called Plantagenet.
The faces on the money. Well, their family tree is called the Plantagenet.
Is it?
Yeah, based on a brooch or a brew, some flowers of bloom that were given to Richard. It was a broom. It was a broom of sprigs. And I need to find out what sprigs are.
Sprigs.
Yeah, it was a broom of sprigs given to Richard the Fifth, the father of Henry II. I've been doing a lot of reading lately.
Okay.
Because I wanted to make sure that the podcast had some information in it. So I've been reading all types of different things. Yeah, that day when I stopped smoking was real good.
What day?
Huh?
Oh,
the day I stopped smoking, yeah, that was a good day for me to clear my mind, and just when I started reading, things were just really getting in there, you know.
It's in the right frame of mind, yeah?
Yeah. I hadn't stopped smoking for a long time, voluntary. I'd never done it before.
Yeah, it's not, well, it would mess up your system, innit, long run. So.
But I never smoked with. I stopped the tobacco ages ago, so I was like, what is.
You got it? Seems like this is a brain actor. Okay. No? You didn't see it? Or did you didn't really lit yours out, have you?
Mm-mm.
I bet it's likely to be right in front of my eyes because you can't see it. Open your eyes. What was you eating something just now? Lift that up, what was you eating? See there?
Good. Logic veins.
You gotta go back to the beginning, innit?
I'm just gonna get like a little sprig.
Very nice.
You know what this is?
Sage.
Nah.
What?
It's called Palo Santo.
How do you see it? What is it? Is that wood? Is it not wood?
Yeah, it's wood.
Oh, it's wood. Is it burned like sage or?
This one's supposed to get rid of. Sage is supposed to get rid of negative and positive. So sage is a neutralizer.
I think it's more for cleansing aura, isn't it? Sage.
Yeah, it's a neutralizer.
Yeah.
But this is, this gets rid of negative only, apparently.
Negative.
Negative only. Only gets rid of the negative.
Why do we run on that? We don't run on a dual system as negative doesn't exist without positive.
Explain what I'm saying.
Like we separate the word. We separate them too.
Why do we separate?
Yeah, to say like if we got rid of negative right now, like how would that benefit us? When
We'll just leave the positive.
And we're both negative and positive in the moment.
What do you mean? How do you know that? How do you know?
Actions, everything that I do can be positive, but can also have it. It has a negative action to it.
What about giving someone a hug? What's negative about that?
I might be given the wrong intention.
But that's your intention. That's not the hug.
The person can, the way it can be received. The output can both be negative and positive. Do you know what I'm saying?
What if you give your hug to your mother? What's wrong? What's going to be received about negative about that?
I give a hug to my mum. But I suppose it is only one action, isn't it? Because it's your mother.
Yeah, it's not negative.
With individual people, it's different, but with other people, it's different too.
So then, there are times in your life when it's only positive, right? When it's just all positive. It's not negative at all.
No, it can't be.
Why? Why can't it just be all positive? And not negative?
It's the action, isn't it, that you do.
You
so you buying a car, it can be seen as good. You bought a car, you took a long time to save up for the car. Now the actions of the car can kill people, can create traffic, noise pollution, that messes up the environment. There's so many different negatives that come from that car. As an example, just like me having a phone, so many negatives come from me having a phone. You know what I'm saying? So as much as there's many positives, there's also many negatives too.
What's negatives of having a phone?
The negatives of having a phone. Electronic pollution, radiation.
Annoying girlfriend.
I have to annoying. Yeah, it can annoy. Yeah. I'm constantly on it. And you, a friend, it can annoy you.
Yeah, definitely.
It can distract me.
I was talking about a girl
who's calling you.
I was talking about a girl who's calling you on call or something.
Yeah, she's good at that.
Not today, but I'm saying.
It's in general, yeah.
Yeah, just in general, that's how it could be effective.
Yeah. And so I'm saying, basically we should acknowledge both the negatives and the positives of everything. With every action you do. Every action has a reaction, yeah? Every action has a reaction. Every single one. So, I'm saying everything has to be negative and positive at the same time. Rather than separate and say it's just negative, that action that I'm doing is just negative, because that action's also positive too.
But if in maths, when something's negative and positive, it just neutralizes out.
Maths.
In maths. In mathematics. Mm-hmm. When a positive plus a negative, it just neutralizes.
Let's say add and plus, yeah. Let's say one's positive, one's negative.
It just neutralizes.
If I lose, if I'm having to pay you for you to give me something, yeah, the positives that I'm getting something off you, negatives I'm losing something at the same time. So you're also doing exactly the same as me. You're losing and gaining at the same time.
That's also based on a different system, though.
That's negative and positive, isn't it?
But let me tell you this, and now it's gonna get real.
Right.
Based on the system that we currently live in. Mm-hmm. The fractional reserve lending, that's based on some binary system based on how 9 times the amount that's what's on hand can be. I need to look more into that, but basically there's a system largely working in the American Federal Reserve of how the actual notes get printed. And based on the actual amount of money that has been deposited in the bank, so you can say the amount of money that's deposited in the bank is the trust that people have for the bank. Mm-hmm. So based on the trust that people have in the bank, they can create a printing scheme based on 9 times the amount, because the probability that all the people are going to take their money out at once.
Is never going to happen.
It is calculated within that 9 times. Within that sum is calculated the probability that they might come. That everyone's going to come at once to take all their money. Mm-hmm. And if that was to happen,
That makes sense. Yeah. It messed up everything.
yeah, it would mess up everything, right? So
You have to have 9 times that amount in there.
so they create a system based on 9 times the amount,
Mhm.
and based on that system, you have a situation where those who print the money can buy real assets with fake money.
Those who have say here's them.
Those who print the money
Yeah.
can buy real assets
That's true.
with fake money.
Steep.
So that is what
You
is.
can create money from nothing and
That
then
is-
buy something with it.
But no, not buy real assets
Buy real. Yeah.
like land.
Mhm.
And based on that, that's where you get all the fuckeries in the world. Because you have people in ownership of stuff that they basically loopholed in order to get. They didn't actually barter. They didn't lose anything. That's what the whole conversation was about. It's about losing something. Not every time you lose something to gain something. If you create the money,
You're not losing nothing.
you're not losing nothing, but you are gaining.
Yeah, it's winning. It's win-win for them. Win-win.
But you feel like you've earned something. You feel like you've
There's
won.
no negatives or positive working.
But
for
they
them.
make
Just
you.
winning.
But
They're
they make
just
you
winning.
feel like you have money. They make you feel like you have power.
True.
That's the problem.
Which doesn't really exist, does it? It's
If
not
you
really
buy
there.
into the illusion,
Well, you have to buy into it. Everyone's got to buy into it to
that's
to
why-
be part of it.
so that's why
That's like any system.
intelligence.
That is any
is-
system.
Intelligence, you could say, is power. Then
That's the race system too. You have to buy into it for it to exist.
what you can do with your intelligence.
Yeah, I get you.
When I say intelligence, a lot of people look at me like I'm just talking about IQ tests.
Well, that's what they feel.
What do you feel like intelligence is?
Intelligence is much more in it. Intelligence is consciousness, isn't it? So it's awareness.
What time did you wake up today?
I woke up at 10.
That's early.
You could say that's late. That's at the same time, but yeah.
Yeah. What time do you usually wake up?
I think I wake up around that time actually, or 9. Depends on what shift I'm on, innit? Well, I'd wake up at that time. To be honest, it depends on.
Was there ever a time in your life when you didn't want to work?
Didn't want to work.
Yeah.
That's now.
You don't want to work?
No. Oh, I wasn't working, you mean? No.
Why don't you want to work?
Well, not exactly not want to work at all, because I have to work to get myself in some form of situation not to work. So I have to do something to not be in that position at all. So some form of way I have to work. But when I mean not want to work, not want to have a job.
Yeah, you don't want to have a job.
Yeah, I'd rather create my own job rather than work for someone else.
Is anything stopping you from doing that?
And what's stopping me is the fact that I'm currently already working, but there is other ways of just leaving it and just jumping into the position, to be honest. So I would say it's action.
Do you find
I'm not doing the right action to just
Yeah.
get myself out of that situation at this present moment, but
Are you making all the Are you like making use of all of your networking opportunities?
No, not currently. I wouldn't say I'm
Mm.
making good use of it.
You should use more of them.
Use
Use your reach and your span.
yeah, definitely.
Have you heard of the Black Godfather?
The Black Godfather. I think I've heard of the Black Godfather.
Currently on Netflix.
Is there a film? I think someone might have, yeah.
It's a documentary.
And he actually was a good father. Yeah, someone just said that recently.
He wasn't into drugs. Well, not obviously, but his name is Clarence Avon.
Clarence Avon.
Avant.
Avon. Avon.
Have you heard the word savant?
Savant.
Yeah.
So, I don't think so.
Have you ever heard of the word savant?
Savant, no, I don't think so.
Savant is someone who is extremely good at
What are
learning.
they, possessions?
Yeah, yeah.
Bring money.
Yeah. Kind of come at the wrong time. There's only like 2 left.
See what do?
It's cool, man.
No, I haven't heard of that. That's the person. I haven't heard of it. Well, someone was just telling me about the
savant.
black
Yeah.
powers.
It's just like being a savant is being extraordinarily good at learning. Being a savant is to be extraordinarily good at learning.
Oh, extraordinarily good at learning.
Learning, yeah. Your capacity to learn is your strong point if you're a savant. And if you're a savant, most of the time your capacity to communicate is not good. Most savants, their capacity to communicate is not good.
Most
savants, their capacity to communicate, yeah.
Oh, why? Why is that?
It's because their brain is occupied. The vast part of their brain that's occupied with communication is actually more occupied on the task. So they're basically using the space in their brain that's for communicating, and they're diverting the energy to channel something else. So that's why communication is lacking. So that's why they often need their parents to create deals for them, because in business environments, not very sociable, based on how involved they are in their work. Yeah. Like these are people that in their field they know everything about their field. They wouldn't even do it if they couldn't.
They wouldn't do it. They couldn't.
They don't do anything they can't do to 100%. They absorb themselves in it and then they take it over completely. You could say like a savant is like a bucket that keeps on growing.
Bucket?
Yeah, it's a bucket. And it just fills with water. And then imagine the bucket just got bigger and bigger. And then you'd have to pour more water in. And the bucket keeps on getting bigger. And you got to pour more water.
Okay, yeah.
That's what a savant is. It's like a bucket that keeps growing. You can never have enough knowledge. You can never have enough power. You can never have enough. That's why people get themselves in situations. You see guys walking around, they've got insomnia, they've got bags under their eyes. Really smart guys.
It's true. Took it to another level.
Now they can't sleep. In the night.
Power's caused that, isn't it?
Power's caused it.
It shouldn't be about power, man.
But you think those, yeah.
It should be about flow.
But that's power again.
You know? Flow. It's
flowing. It's power. The power's flowing to the right place.
Flowing, not flowing to.
I think you don't like the word power.
No, I don't think you need it.
It's true.
I don't think it's needed.
What's not needed?
I think it just needs to flow. Things just need to flow, innit? You need flow. Flow is the more important than power.
Well, what is power though? Because I define flow as power. Flow and power synonymous.
Well, power is energy, isn't it? But if we're looking at it in a human concept, like the power that we're talking about is probably fake, isn't it? Because power is about controlling, yeah. It does have to control.
What about flow? Flow is about control too, no? Flow is about control as well, isn't it?
Well, flow is an organic control, isn't it? So everyone's going with the flow. Everyone's doing what's supposed to be done, isn't it? Everyone's being where they're supposed to be, playing their role.
Yeah.
Connecting, in sync with each other.
Yeah.
But you've got someone who wants power, they come into that, they change it, they mess up the whole system, innit? They mess up that system. They turn it into chaos, really. Because of control.
Control freaks, not control itself. Those are control freaks. Control is right, control is fine.
Well, just by wanting power, innit?
What do you think of guns?
You've automatically gone into control, innit?
What do you think of guns?
They're dangerous weapons.
Have you ever had one?
Oh.
Do you want one?
I have no desire to have one either.
What about if you're going to America?
If I was going to America?
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, if everyone has it, then you do need one as well, innit? Like, so in a way, I probably would want one if everyone had one, but we know people have them, we don't have them, so if I already know people that can have them, why do I need to have it still?
Safety.
But if I need to look after myself because I need it, then I'll have it, innit? But I don't personally think I need it. How are you?
What is it? What
Do you need a gun or do you?
Do I need a gun?
Yeah.
I would not
Is
like
there
to
ever
think.
been a
I would not
need?
like to think I would need a gun. But experience would probably prove different.
Would you mean if you had one?
If I was in America.
To be honest, I've seen the power of having a gun. Like, it's mad.
What's it do?
It'll shut you up for one. Innit? If one got pulled out, you won't speak when a gun's there. Could you still be you when a gun's being pulled in front of your face?
That's depending on the situation. I would have to say.
Just say someone's coming with a gun
based on pride, I'd have to say yes.
You could still be you.
Based on pride.
Pride.
Based on pride. But based on experience.
I don't even think it's just a pride thing.
But no, I'm saying based on pride right now. I'll tell you, I'd have to say yes.
Guess what?
Based on pride.
That you would what?
That I would continue to be myself. Based on pride. That's what I'm trying to tell you. But what reality would say is different.
Oh yeah. I hear what you're saying, yeah. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, just based on pride, I feel like I'm not gonna say take everything, but I'm not also gonna throw away my life.
Well, your life comes first, innit? You got to save your life, innit? So everything's based on saving
If
your
they
life.
pull out a gun, it also doesn't mean they're trying to shoot you. A lot of time, people aren't actually gonna pull that trigger. No, a lot of people.
You say that.
A lot of people are afraid of being on the run.
Yeah, but it's on both sides. It's all happening, isn't it? So anxiety is happening in both sides because they're in that moment. But they've created it. But they've created it and they're in control of it. Then they're not in anxiety. They're actually in control of what's going on. The other person could be in anxiety because it can be a shock to the system, and then things want to start shutting down or not working properly in that moment. So you can't think straight. You're sweating. Your body's in chaos right now. So that's what I'm saying. In that moment, you're gonna find it'll be hard for you to be yourself because you're in that moment. In that moment, it's a moment of madness. Everything's happening.
Yeah, but it's all about who's.
You have to think. You got to act. You
don't
got
have
to
to
do.
think,
Something's happening.
You don't have to think.
No, I'm saying. Whatever you was in control of, whatever you was doing, is now stopped. Now something's happening and it's created something else, and that's why you've changed. That's why it changes.
You have to be present.
Yeah, but many people are not present. You know that many people are not present.
But if you're present and the guy who's got the gun isn't present, you have a one up. You're in control.
No, it's the.
If someone pulls out a gun in fear of you, then you have to have a certain.
Be relaxed.
You have to understand something. They are scared of you, but they are in power right now.
Well, people are putting out a gun in general. Are they scared of you because they're putting that gun on you, or they're trying to control the situation?
They're trying to control the situation.
Exactly.
Because they're in fear of me.
Do you reckon that's the case though?
I'm just saying based on how I would feel like.
Why are you thinking? Why are you saying of you?
No, I'm just saying like based on how I feel like it would play out. If someone was to pull a gun out on someone, usually it is because they're afraid of them. Why otherwise would you even need to go that length?
No, I could be trying to rob you.
You could be trying to rob me.
Yeah. And having a gun's gonna rob you quicker than me just saying that I'm trying to.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm saying it's contextual.
You have to fight you.
Based on robbing me, yeah, it's quicker.
No, I'm saying in general.
Based on robbing me up front, you can rob me behind my back and then you don't need it.
But I'm saying for having it, you're not gonna touch me if you know I've got a gun on me.
That's how if I know you're gonna use it.
If I know you're not gonna use it or not.
If I know you're not gonna use it though.
Having it is already a problem.
I mean, it's a problem, but it's not the end all be all if I know you're not gonna use it.
Yeah, I know if you know I'm not gonna use it, that's another story. But I'm saying if I have it, that's a problem, isn't it?
Who are you pointing at anyway?
Yeah, it's pointing at you. I'm saying.
He's pointing at me with what request?
There's no request. It doesn't just point at you.
If there's no request, then they're just pointing at me for fun, isn't it? I'm not scared of that. No one's doing anything for no reason. We're in life.
Yeah, but it's obviously they have an agenda, innit? And you don't know their agenda, so it's like that's the situation.
If it's random, then if it's random, then I don't know.
Most times it is random, isn't it?
Yeah, but if they're not asking me, what's their request?
Yeah, but even though a situation is
random,
even though a situation is happening, you don't know that someone's got a gun on them, innit? And when you have a gun, everything will change in that moment. Like, you know, it's not going to be how it's not going to go how it would have went if that person didn't have a gun. Fist fight, shout out, argument, screaming, whatever. It'll go differently. I take it you've never been in the presence of a gun.
I have.
You have?
Yeah, someone pulled it out when we was inside of outside of West 9 West 9.
What's that?
It's my local convenience store when I was in Gypsy Hill. But I was there when I was about. This happened when I was about 15.
And how did the situation go? So why did they pull out?
They pulled it out because my friend asked for. He asked for a chip for a Jew. So
he's asking someone for a chip. What, in a car or?
Nah, this is just outside the shop.
On the shop, and the person called it a gun.
No, listen. The guy was saying, "I'm old enough to be your grandfather. Don't disrespect me." And then Tash was like, disrespectful.
What did he say?
Then the guy, he just looked at him like, because Tash is tall, he just looked at him like, you know.
Whatever.
Yeah, like, and the guy felt disrespected.
Mm.
So he's like, you know what? What? Hold on a minute. I got 6 in the chamber. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 of you. Pulled out the gun and pointed at all of us.
What happened? Did anyone say anything? Was you just to yourself?
We were just all looking at him like, we were scared.
Did
no one ran.
Was he in control in that moment? Was everyone scared? Everyone was afraid of their life.
You know, I wouldn't say that we were afraid. Like, he was just looking at him like he was crazy.
He was looking. He was looking at you.
Everyone was. Everyone was looking at him like he was crazy. But it was a gun. It wasn't. It was rusty though. It looked kind of. Yeah, it definitely was a gun.
They're the best guns, you know. They're World War I guns and 2.
Is it?
Yeah. Cowboy cool.
Have you shot a gun?
No.
I had to bring up guns because the gun is another situation. Yeah, this is done in watercolor.
Oh, yeah. It's crazy.
Thank you, man.
It's not going on.
This here.
Got good magnesium, man.
Oh, thanks, man.
It's the fact that it's all come together, isn't it? It's just not.
I'm working on a piece for 2020 because 2020 is going to be Annum Mirabilis.
What's that?
Annum Mirabilis.
What's that?
It's a year of miracles.
A year of miracles.
Miracles, yeah. 2020.
What's that come from?
Where does what come from?
A year of miracles.
Well, Annum Mirabilis is Latin.
What's Latin?
Yeah. So I'm working on that. This is really because this is actually an underpainting. These are the oil paints, and that is a palette of watercolors. So I started off in watercolor because when you start in watercolor, you can change it. You can continuously adapt it very easily. But oil paint sticks to the surface. It bonds to the surface with a thicker bond. Okay. The bonds are more dense. Watercolor is more dispersed, and you can easily use water to just blend something.
Okay.
With oil paint, you have to use turpentine to blend. Turpentine smells very heavy.
Okay. So
I use turpentine actually as the second stage. So I've done it in watercolor here, and I've got the oil paints I've got to mix up. I'm really looking forward to that. And then I have some other dyes that are going to make extra strange colours. So I'm very experimental. And I never used to have this approach. My room before, I recently said AC or BC. After carpet or before carpet. I never had the carpet always. The room before had like this smooth floor, and the floor was disgusting because if you can see the walls, it's writing all over the walls. All of these paintings, there's tons of paintings on here as well. all of those pictures were done in that room when it was AC or BC, before Gothic. Yeah.
Which is how many years? 5 years?
I've only been here for 4 years.
4 years.
So this is my production for 4 years.
Come on, man.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it. I ain't been out much. Tell you,
If someone came and was like, "Can I buy it off you?" Would you sell it to them?
No.
It's your.
Huh?
It's your art. Anyway, you look at it, it's gonna be worth money one day.
It's worth money right now, brother.
Hmm.
That's why you're saying if someone wants to buy it.
Look at it.
That's why you look. That's why it came to your mind when you looked at that. I sleep above it.
That's just any way you look at it, it's worth money.
I sleep under it. My dreams are worth money.
Cool. Yeah, true.
It's real. Like, I feel like it's important in life to do your best to create. Not just for the purpose of creating. It's because life is also, you said, okay, dualistic. You can look at life in a dualistic way. So you have consumption and creation. You have to have both. So as much as you consume, whether it be videos on your phone, whether it be newspapers on the Metro or the Sun, as much as you consume from external, you have to also have this internal creative center where you can now redirect the energy. Otherwise people get clogged up. They find themselves young and tired. They find themselves young and feeling like they don't have any potential. And every time they go to sleep, the potential is infinite if they can remember their dreams. But I find most people, they don't remember their dreams. And then I ask, do you smoke tobacco? And they go, yes. And I go, okay, well try stop smoking tobacco and see if you remember your dreams. I don't remember my dreams.
Is that what it is, you reckon?
I can't say it is that. Based on the fact that, but I can say this. When I don't smoke a lot, I dream.
When you don't smoke?
Yeah.
Okay.
When I don't smoke a lot. When I don't smoke, I definitely dream. But when I don't smoke a lot, my tendency to dream is more frequent. My tendency to remember my dreams more frequently. To be present within the dream realm. But that is not a speculation. I think that's based on the serotonin, dopamine, and the melatonin, and the marijuana, basically giving spikes to the melatonin before you go to sleep. So you're waking. You're basically in the day, daydreaming. You're basically dreaming in the day. You're activating those stimulations, those stimulus sensors in the day, so that when you sleep, they're not being given the chance to naturally produce those chemicals, because it has to replace the you can say the offset of smoking. Your body now has to reproduce those, so your dreams have now been diverted. The chemicals used for dreams are now diverted to repairing you could say the cell damage. You can say from the smoking. So that's what, by offsetting that, by doing as much exercise, you can sort of repair the brain, have active recovery, minimize smoking because you already have so much natural dopamine, you don't need to be doing too much anyway.
Yeah.
So, man, that's a really important discovery with dreams and tobacco, though, because when I did stop smoking tobacco, my dreams, I was pretty much having quite vivid dreams. Yeah. Yeah, quite frequently.
When was the last time I dreamt?
Exactly, in the tobacco, man.
It's been a while, man.
You've been hitting those tobaccos in your suit. So if you can divert it to purees and see if you
maybe a puree.
Pass it, you. Make it a puree. Okay.
Start now.
Yeah, you can start now because you're gonna dream.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, you gotta be dreaming, man.
I'm a dreamer.
Get in your dream, man, because that's really important. Once you start getting your dream, your manifestation possibilities are going to become much more evident.
Well, that's kind of how I got my bike, actually.
Yeah?
Originally, yeah, I had a dream.
Oh, maybe you're a lucid dreamer.
What's a lucid dreamer?
Wait, what's your birthday date?
Birthday date?
Yeah.
January 6th.
January 6th, okay. Well, you should look in the numerology what a number 6 means. I don't really know what number 6 means. But you should look at number 6, and if it does relate to what you feel like your life purpose is about, because my number is said to be about power, and that's why I'm talking to you all about power.
I'm a wizard. Was mine a wizard?
Oh, cool, man.
I think it was a wizard.
But come on, wizards remember their dreams.
Huh?
Wizards remember their dreams.
Maybe so much something else.
Yeah.
I'll check it again.
And what about the guys you grew up with? Do you feel like do you hang around those guys anymore?
I do, not as much.
Why don't you hang around them as much?
Huh?
You just don't have that pull anymore. No magnetic energy towards it.
Possibly.
That happens when you know, if you were to get conscious of something, you could not go back.
No, you can't go forward.
No, never go back.
It's true. Yeah, maybe I was moved away in consciousness. And it affected me. Affected them being around me or me being around them.
But if you notice one thing, when you're more conscious, you're more present.
More present.
Right. That increases either.
I mean, a moment, yeah.
That increases fear.
In here, me or others.
In others.
Mm.
Then what they say, they're held accountable for.
Everything.
Do you see the dynamics of that?
Mm. But it also makes them more aware too. Doesn't it?
But that's also...
That's what it does. It eventually has to wake them up.
But isn't waking up kind of scary? Everyone, the dream is so comfortable.
Yeah, it's scary, but once you wake up, it's different, isn't it?
No, it's life when you wake up. Before, what you were doing was existing.
Mm. But
I can say
there
have been periods of my life when I was existing, yeah. I wasn't living as such.
You was existing on a lower frequency, lower consciousness.
Yeah, but then you can start living on the higher frequency. You start to notice the need to create your own contrast. I find this to be one of the most important things in my life. Is that if I didn't create the contrast in my life, that God would give it to me anyway.
If you didn't create it, then God would give it to you anyway.
Yeah. Because it was a bipartisan effect of living.
Do you reckon you get it anyway?
I've experienced it every day. If I didn't create the contrast myself, the contrast would come in a way that I didn't expect, I didn't know how to deal with, and I didn't like. Some days I'm tested regardless. But as long as I'm on point, when the test comes, I'm conscious, present for it, I can deal with it immediately. But if I didn't work on myself, didn't have the energy to work on it, I didn't have the discipline to work on it, it would pile up. It would seem like a task rather than a test. Because
that's true.
That's different. It's a perspective thing. When you're looking at it from a different perspective, now it's not causing them much hassle. Now it's a game. Now it's engagement. Now, you know what I'm saying? It's exciting, man. It's exciting, man. You know, as I said to people, is it fear or adrenaline? It's the same chemical, you know.
Fight or flight, innit?
Yeah.
Fight or flight can do that or do that. That's what I said, didn't it?
But what about
you can't separate negative and positive, they're both.
But what about the oneness? The oneness.
That's what everything's about. That's not separating it, that's everything's one. Yeah? There is no positive, no negative.
Have you ever had a white girlfriend?
Yeah.
Have you ever had a black girlfriend?
Yeah.
What was the difference between the two?
The difference between those two, but...
What was the difference between them both? Not just saying the differences just because they're white and black, but what do you see as the differences in tradition? And how was the pussy?
Obviously they've got two different positions, isn't it? They're both different. Because I shared more common traits with the black one, innit? Because I had more culture,
yeah,
colour even, yeah, same age. No, we're all the same age actually. All three of us the same age. Do you know, I do think that sometimes there was a difference between them. But I think the difference may be bias. So I need to have more to see the difference. There is a difference. That makes sense. Is one on one enough?
Yeah. It's just your experience that you noticed. What was strange? What was different?
What am I looking at?
I don't know.
Picture.
What are you looking at, man?
Oh no, you gave me this.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's just a drawing.
Of the image of the drawing. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, just a drawing, man. This is funny because this is a notebook I had when I was 15. So these are drawings I've drawn when I was 15.
Iron nose.
But if you look now, these are some concepts of some cars that are gonna come out in the future.
Cars?
Yeah.
Remember, just about anything, yeah. You can think it, you can manifest it.
Yeah, design it, do the engineering. I'm not an engineer as... Well, I would say right now...
But anyone, if your idea, would love to do it anyway, innit? Because
I like to create the vision, I like to create the concepts. I don't like doing the math.
Yeah.
I don't like doing all the maths. I can do as much as... I can actually do the maths... I can actually do the maths for like the measurements to make sure it can happen. I can give it to the guys who are going to do the deeper maths.
Yeah.
But I don't want to sit there and do the boring maths, like the long part. I can do the part where I can make sure that it's renderable by someone who's now going to take this concept and now going to go and do the deep maths and make sure that you've created the convex shape. If you get like a cylinder, make sure that it's to scale. I can do the scale. That's what I'm doing. I can do the scaling.
Do you know what? You probably could do it all, but
I don't want to, based on the fact that I'm doing music.
You don't have really enough stuff as it is.
Yeah, it's quite much. And I know that I'm not waking up at 5 every day.
But doing all those things will probably allow you to do much more. To be honest, it's making you more open.
Yeah, I'm very open.
Yeah, it's making you more open. So I say you're probably more able to do more. Because you're doing so many things.
Yeah, I'm able to do more, but also.
So you can learn more. You can learn. You could do the whole thing you've wanted to, but obviously, yeah. We're working with what means in it, what we want to do.
I need to find out what I need to do to actually make sure that car can be designed. Like, how can I make sure that? I feel like what I need to do is manifest the people that are going to help me with the engineering part. Nowadays,
is it something you want to build and just build one for yourself, or
no.
You want to sell for and make people buy it off you?
No, it wasn't that. I just create things that are so cool, people want them.
Just individual things.
I just create things that are so. They have so much vibration. They have so much color. They have so much shape. The curvatures was new. The dimensions was new. What I intended for the car, the levitation aspect, and the aspect of magnetic repulsion, and these kind of things I have in my consciousness that I wanted to have inside the car, and all of those things. That's what people wanted it for. And so in that case, when the demand was high, that's when I was to come into contact with the right people who could make a line of these cars. But initially, it was about making sure that the creation was extraordinary. That's what I'm all about. I'm all about just making sure creations are extraordinary and just make sure that they're just as great as I wanted them to be. And how can I make that happen? Remain clear. Don't get distracted. In here, there used to be too much stuff going on, so I stripped all that off the walls. And now the feng shui allows it to have a much flow, better conversations. Because then you're not coming here, there's too much distraction. There's only one thing that you look when you feel like it.
True.
I get distracted working in here. I have to come sometimes I go to the library just by too much going on. When I create a better environment, like now, it's perfect for me to work in here. But when I'm in the middle of a project, working in here is like, it's just hard to receive new ideas just based on the influence of all that stuff being on the wall.
Yeah, there's a lot of distractions.
When you met me, you were talking about music.
Music?
Yeah, you said you wanted to get into it. What about music that you want to do?
I have no idea. I just want to just do something and see where it takes me. Yeah.
Have you got a guitar?
Nothing, but no form of music.
There's a piano. Play one of the keys. Now play two.
Same time. Same time?
Your choice. maybe create a distance between those two so there's like some harmony. Maybe try to create 3 notes now. Try to make a triad.
What's 3 notes? Like that, or?
Yeah, that's a triad. Oh shit, you got melody.
I'm just trying to do something.
You having fun though?
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, man, mate.
And I love the piano. I'll be on it every day, man. I'll definitely get good at it because I'm just gonna pick it up. But the type of person I am, like anything I'm doing, I'll do it 100%.
That's good.
You'll put your whole self
That's
in it.
important, man. Why don't you get yourself a keyboard in that aspect?
This is what I could play, innit? Loved it. Yeah.
That's cool, man. It's good that you have an ear already. Have you got a MacBook?
No, I'm a Mac. iMac.
You have an iMac?
Yeah.
And you got these production things on there?
No. What? Of what productions?
Pardon?
Of what?
You said you've got one, right?
Computer.
You've got a laptop and you said you've got like...
Where's that split?
I'm just getting up some roach for you, bro.
Oh, see. Where's my phone? Which one? You make one as well, you know?
Oh no, I've made one, man. Maybe if you just leave me a little bit for the end, maybe I can make another one.
Yeah, you can help. I'll leave some of you.
I appreciate it, man. That's really helpful, man. But yeah, G, I think it's so cool that you can play that already. That is like Pharaoh Jaka.
What's that?
This means you just have it. Like Pharaoh Jaka is just like Pharaoh Jaka, do me vu, do me vu, do me da 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 da.
Yeah, I probably could play that.
And yeah. And you know what I'm saying? So that's more like my version of Pharaoh Jaka. When you play with both hands at the same time, you get like motion going, and that's more involved, you know. So
May look easy.
may look easy. I'm practicing every day. You try to use your thumb. Try to use your thumb to guide you.
Thumb.
Thumb, yeah.
Is it loud? Is it not late?
Yeah.
What time is it?
Is it late?
What time is it?
No, it's cool to play, man. You're cool. You ever heard of the observer effect?
The observer effect.
Yeah. Like, say for instance, I put these, put this recorder on.
Mm-hmm.
Once we know we're recording, everything changes.
Yeah, sure.
So just by being watched,
Aware of it, innit?
just by being watched, the observer effect just states basically that the participation of an observer alters the experiment in such a way that nullifies the results.
Changes the result.
Yeah, it makes sure that you can't have an accurate reading because your observation is causing disruption. It's like the same thing where you say like to a child, where you see a kid. When I was a kid, I used to try to watch flowers grow.
Yeah.
And they never used to grow in front of me. I turn my back and it'd be higher now.
You watch it by every day, innit? Or
Yeah, but you know what I mean. It's just like
I watched a flower grow with one of my plants.
No, but
I saved it.
You didn't watch it every day though.
I did. Watched it grow. No, I was just watching it every single second of the day.
Yeah, you don't have the patience for that.
I looked at it every day.
You could develop the patience, but yeah, that's another story. Most people don't have the patience to watch a flower grow.
So it's got bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. I gave it to my girl. I'm not with her no more, actually.
No? Why not?
This is the last saw you last about a breakup.
Wow. Why? What happened, man? What? Was he crazy?
I just realised it's different, isn't it? We're no good for each other. Wasn't doing the right job for each other, innit? To make each other work. Shame, but it happens. We learn it. We have to learn, if we, for the next relationship that we both go into. Plays that before you even bloody think about 3-4 fours.
Yeah, you smoke fast.
Do that.
Yeah.
Do you know what it is? I've learned like to smoke different ways, innit? And I get different things. So I feel like the more I smoke, the more I can beat it. Which I feel like right now I'm not buzzing because I'm beating it. It's weird. The buzz.
What do you beat?
I do feel like environments give you different buzz. Being in different environments gives you a different outcome.
Yeah.
Maybe due to what you just said with, because you're aware that you're being observed. Maybe a person, maybe you're aware of the person observing you all the time. So you may act differently. So that maybe something that may happen.
You think the tobacco got involved with how quickly you smoke it?
Tobacco? I don't know. I don't think so.
No? You think you could burn a Puri that quick?
I think I did smoke quick anyway. The Puri. Yeah, why not?
Yeah, why not?
Or is it going to affect me more?
Well,
should I really, innit?
Well, I feel like what happened, right, is once you stop hitting the solar plexus, the marijuana now travels up to this part. Now could travel in this section. And then once you're now more aware of the presence of it in these sections, the buzz will shift from you being like grounded in your seat and not wanting to move, and just like watching your phone or doing something like that, to being able to be mobile. And of course you get mobile, of course, but generally tobacco densifies the experience rather than lightens it. It contains heavy metals, so it weighs you down a bit.
Okay, yeah.
In the marijuana.
Not always.
Why? Of course, it's contextual. Because your body's gonna react different to it. I'm just saying, based on how sensitive I am to foreign institutions, it just makes sure that I feel like way more down. And nowadays.
Is that always, yeah?
That's always been the case. That's why I liked it.
Like buzz, like energetic.
That's why I liked it at first. No, I get the energy just normal. I don't really have to use tobacco ever.
No, I'm saying does tobacco never give you an energy boost?
No.
Oh, shit.
No.
Never.
No. It was always draining energy from me.
That's the ringing shit. There's a I know.
Yeah, you know? It's always felt like it made me more tired.
Always?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I liked it at first.
You didn't smoke the right one then?
What, the right tobacco?
Not tobacco, I think weed, I would say.
No, not the weed.
Okay, it's tobacco.
Yeah, the tobacco.
No, I've always used tobacco, so I've in my lifetime I've probably smoked a few that's not been, but definitely I felt different buzzes, like I felt energetic or non-energetic due to different weeds I smoked.
What do you feel like tobacco does?
Yeah, I've always done it with tobacco, that's what I'm saying, so definitely. I've only smoked it.
Does it make you tired?
The few times I did smoke a Puri, I don't believe it did make me energetic personally, because only a few times in my life. But I smoked tobacco way more, and it's, don't get me wrong, I think I'm more on the less side than the energetic buzz. But right now I'm in an energetic buzz right now.
It's good, man.
I could do stuff.
It's good if you can control that.
I don't think
because just to be
I like to think it's control.
Because what I'm just asking is, what I'm just saying is, when you're tired, you're less effective.
100%. You're less focused. Can't think straight.
Yeah.
Can't even flow in it because you're not even in sync with what's going on. But then you think you have to be in sync of what's happening with what's going on around you, in your environment, wherever it is. So you have to be in different vibrations all the time. Can't stay in the same vibration. I think sometimes you have to even lower your vibrations just to communicate.
Rare instances, but that's what, yeah.
To bring yourself down.
Where do you see yourself for 10 years?
Someone's asked me a couple of days, yesterday, when I see myself in 5 years. Now I've been asked 10 years. Do you know what? When that question gets asked, there's what I would like to do and what's gonna happen.
Okay. How do you know what's gonna happen?
I don't know what's gonna happen, but would I actually think what I would like is gonna happen? That's another story.
If you were disciplined and you wanted it to happen, it could happen, man.
Yeah, if that's the case, I don't see why not at the same time.
What is it
so
you want?
If I'm doing the right actions and
what is it you want?
Huh?
What is it you want?
What I want to happen in 10 years. So that means I'll be 45. I'd love to be in a position of owning a house.
Okay.
Hopefully in a position of actually owning my own company. Or companies.
In what sector would you want to own a company? Where would you put your attention? What is your field of expertise? What is something that you can do and no one else can do as good as you?
I feel like a salesman.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, you feel like you can sell bread to a bakery?
Of course.
Yeah? Can you?
Sell bread
to a bakery?
Yeah, why not? But that's hard, isn't it? Because bakeries they make their own bread. What do you
Sell me the pencil.
You know why you need this pencil? Because you need it.
No, I don't need it.
You need to write stuff down. Yeah? When you have dreams, get your pencil, you just write stuff down.
I use my phone, I don't need a pencil.
Yeah. It's you don't always have your phone with you there. You can leave this in certain places, like when you go to the toilet, you can leave it when you go to the toilet, you can write your note down, you can leave it right beside your bed. Even though I know you can use your phone. But this can be always with you all the time.
I generally use my phone because this always needs
and you need to charge
needs a paper to
your phone costs money, you got to charge it, and that's a liability. This pencil's not a liability.
What paper I need?
When it finishes, you've got another one just the same size, ready to go again, and you've got another one ready to go, same again.
Well, what about when it runs out of ink? How do I refill it?
I'll supply you the next set.
Where do I find the right, set. How do I know what is
Well,
right?
you look at my website and it'll be there.
What's your name of your website?
Higher vibrations.
What does that have to do with pencils? No, you did well. You did well. Fuck with that. Yeah, man.
Did I say it?
You're persistent. You're persistent.
Did I say it?
You're persistent. You're persistent. You didn't sell it, but you're persistent. I think if you had more training, yeah, you'd be very strong at that. You're persistent, man. Persistence is important, man. You didn't give up and go.
Didn't let it go.
Ah, fuck it. You didn't let it go.
You just tried hard.
You're persistent. I gotta give you that. Persistence is key to sales.
No, don't get me wrong. Look, right now I'm in a comfortable environment, so right now I think that was poor for me to sell you that. I could sell it to you way better.
Alright, do it again.
No, to do it again.
No, do it again.
It's
Action.
one second. Well, if I have all the tools that I need, I'll sell it.
You got all the tools right here, brother. It's your consciousness. I said to you, what is it that only you can do? Anything, if it's something that only you can do, you never need anything external to prove it.
No, it's.
Trust me,
I
man.
know what you're saying. In the moment, yeah.
You got to be able to just activate
To do it in
just
the moment.
snap in it right now. Get in it right now. Like you said, it was so easy. I said I practice every day.
Mm.
You have to be able to do it right now. To the level that is the highest standard you can possibly do.
Then it's probably not my best right this second.
So that's what I'm saying. So you have to assess what is your
That's
your
how I
talent.
feel in this second.
No, it's cool. It's good that you feel that.
Sometimes it's timing.
Timing.
And another time I could. Bang.
You can't.
And I
you
do
can't.
feel
You can't.
as well.
You know, you can't fool me. So if you're saying in another time, it will be. It's just timing. I believe you. I give you the benefit of the doubt.
Mm.
But you know, at the end of the day, I asked you, what is your vision for your
I
team?
know, but you just put it on me like, go on, say it.
Yeah, that's because I have to do that.
No, but I'm saying.
But I don't have to do it. But I have to do it because let's see. There's no one else here. It's just me and you.
1 second.
Yeah.
You have to take into account there's a lot of things happening and you just go boom, just like that. There's the fact that I'm being recorded.
But that isn't
The
something.
fact that
That's something
the
that
fact
you
that I'm
should.
being tested.
That's good.
Yeah.
It's all good to be tested.
There's the fact that I'm conscious and aware of that, of all those stuff, and there could be anxiety.
Are you excited? Are you excited?
No, not that I am. I'm just saying in this moment, one thing's running through my head, so it's like, so that could be messing up my focus to selling this pen. But
Is it? Is it messing up your phone?
yeah, I'll say so.
Why?
Something's been put in the moment in the spot, innit? So
But that's what life is about. Life is about the spot. It's about the spotlight.
Yeah, you have to be ready for it, I suppose.
That's why I put you right
in
on
this moment. I'm not ready for it to sell you the pen, but to a point where you buy it. And plus, I'm sure there's someone out there that can say that at the same time. If it's not myself.
Someone who I would say is a salesman. They only want to do a salesman. They've been doing it for 20 years.
But give me
They go into work every day and they sell every day. They go home and they go on eBay and they check their auctions. These guys, they would feel honored to display their sales characteristics.
Yeah, but they have the product, innit? So
They have no product. I'm giving them a pencil and I'm telling them, sell me it.
no, it's
And they're going,
what I
the
find.
pencil is the last pencil you have. This is the final pencil. Hold on. This is the last one I've had. This is the final pencil. There's only one of these pencils on earth. This pencil is worth millions of pounds. Giving it to you $10.99. I'm telling you, when it comes to being able to snap into it, it has to be instant, it has to be hardcore, it has to be fiery, it has to be passionate, and it has to be persistent. You have to sell it.
It's nice when it's your choice of what you want to sell.
It's no choice. There's no choice. I'm putting you on the spotlight. It wasn't your choice. I gave you the pencil. I gave you the pencil. I said, what is it?
You still have to remember how I work.
How do you work?
The way I work, if I have what I need when I'm gonna say it, I've sold it. But there's some things that you really need that I can sell you. So it could be a piece of equipment that I know that you need. I can sell it to you because it's easy to sell it.
What about the difficult sales? Can you make those difficult sales?
What difficult sales?
Can you sell the things that are hard to sell, like a pencil? It's hard to sell a pencil.
I can sell a pack of pencils.
But I just asked you to.
But one pencil.
I asked you to sell a pencil right now. It starts with one, then it gets to a pack. You got to manufacture one by one.
Alright, so do you need a pencil?
No, I do not need a pencil.
Don't need a pencil in your life.
I do not need a pencil at all.
You need a pen?
Nope. I have my phone.
What do you need?
I got my phone.
What do you need?
I don't need anything. I got my phone. And actually, I got 5 minutes. I got to get to work, so goodbye. But you're supposed to sell me that pencil, right? You need my attention. You need it now.
Sir, let me give you this pen for you to go work with. It's for you to need.
What for? I told you I got my phone.
Sir, you will need this today because you need to take some notes down because it's an important day today.
I've got 3 minutes left. I gotta get to work. And I got a phone, so I don't need your pencil. Goodbye. Are you still here? It's about being able to step into it, man. I already told you.
No, this is not how I sell.
It's about a role.
But I hear what you're saying.
It's about that's exactly how you sell.
Can you sell?
No, that's exactly how you sell. I'm just telling you.
That's.
I don't mean to be rude to you, but that's exactly how you sell. You just sold me the pencil, and I'm not gonna take any bullshit from you. You told me that's not exactly how you sell. You just had 2 or 3 opportunities to sell me the pencil. Different opportunities.
That's not how I sell.
Then okay, 4 options. Action. Sell me the pencil.
You don't get. I know you. It's not working.
It doesn't need to work. It doesn't need to work. It doesn't need to work for it to be reality.
No, it doesn't work.
Reality is your ability to step into it immediately, effectively. Oprah walks through the room.
What?
Oprah just walks in right now.
Good for her.
She said, "I got $100,000. Which one of you young men have a bright idea? Go on, tell me your bright idea for $100,000. I'm trying to support young black people.
That's easy.
I'm trying to support young black people. I'm out here now. I got the 100,000. I just want to hear your ideas.
Yeah,
no pressure. No pressure. You have as long as you please, but you have to do it now.
That's much more easier than actually selling the bloody pins, Spencer, isn't it?
That's not easier. It's 100,000.
But that if you already have ideas, and that's for me.
What about you? What about you? What are you gonna do? I'm just saying.
I just gave one of my ideas in my head, isn't it? Personally.
Huh?
I could say something that I already think about.
But I'm telling you right now. I'm not telling you.
I know, and I'm saying it. I can say it right now.
Look at me. I'm Oprah. I've got 100,000 right here. Tell me your bright idea. You get the money. You have as long as it takes, but it has to be right now. Which is, by the way, a paradox. That's exactly how you get what you want, and you keep people from feeling like they're gonna explode. So what's your bright idea, brother?
Let me hear yours first, mate.
Well, Oprah, if you give me the money, I'm going to put pianos in Africa. I'm going to put pianos in hospitals particularly. I'm going to make sure that there's 24-hour security so that the pianos can be stationary. This is in order for me to rebuild the artistic economy in that part of Africa. And I want to rebuild it so that the children and the youth can have better infrastructure for the future.
Yeah, but mine's going to run out. What's going to fund it?
But 100,000 for me to start is right. Once you see that I'm doing the right things, I've got everything in place, then we can get another injection of the cash. But 100,000 is fine right now.
Yeah, but that's not good business, is it?
That's perfect business. Because it's showing you that you can deal with responsibility. Huh?
It can support itself.
What can support itself?
So this is always continuous. It's a business.
This is a project. This is a long run. This is a 10-year project.
But the money that he makes.
He's giving me a 10-year. This isn't about immediate money. This project is about infrastructure. This is an infrastructure project. It's not about immediate money. This is something that's going to inject billions and trillions of dollars back into the economy once the youth can begin to understand music.
Then I say I'll try and bring light.
You're going to bring light?
To the whole of Africa.
The whole of Africa? I heard Akon was doing that.
No, the whole, just a particular area.
I heard Akon was doing that.
A particular area.
What particular area? No, I'm joking. I'm joking.
But you could.
I'm fucking with you.
You could easily sell it to another country to say, you know what, if you help bring light to this country, yeah, we'll help you bring a business over there, like a company, and you can sell to the people, and you can make money. Easy.
It's not easy.
No, that's
not easy. Not easy.
But you have to give up something to do that. But then it comes down to why can't the country do that anyway in the first place? Greed. And there's people that's rich enough in the country to really do that anyway, to bring light to the whole place and bring up and set up more businesses for those areas at the same time.
Laziness?
Yeah, business.
Laziness?
Laziness. You're saying bring us laziness?
Well, it's been, 100 years, no electricity. Most people are using generators. Sounds like laziness.
I don't think it's laziness.
Sounds like laziness, corruption. And that's what laziness is. It's one of the deadly sins.
Laziness.
Yeah, sloth. If you can do it,
I gotta make a move, huh?
and you're able, you should do it.
Gotta make a move.
Man, make your moves, cousin. It's a great conversation. I'm happy that you see how clear it is. If you come back, we can reconvene. It's a good one. And concluding, Aladini's Cave of Dreams, episode 3. Enjoy it. This is your host and company. Signing off.
You didn't introduce me as well.
You got to introduce yourself, brother. Go ahead. The mic's right near you.
What's up?
I see you don't fuck with being put on the spot.
What?
You don't really fuck with being put on the spot.
No, not when I'm very buzzing.
Wait.
But
yeah, man. Spotlight.
I don't know if I'm a recording person, personally.
Oh, the conversation was beautiful though.
I don't know when I introduce myself and stuff. I don't know. That's one of my best skills.
What you would introduce yourself as?
What am I?
Your name and what you would like to do in the universe.
Say that?
Your name and what you would like to do in the universe. If you don't 100% know what you would like to do, then you just kind of throw out what you think you would like to do. To see if it's.
That's what I like and what I can do. Not what I actually physically can do, more like what I'm allowed to do.
What you allowed to do?
It's not what someone else will allow me to do. I'd love to change the world and make it the better place it could be, but I can't.
Why not?
There's too much people up there stopping me.
Oh, no one's stopping you, man. In order for you to know there's people up there, you gotta get there first.
Yeah, they're definitely there. They have to know that.
You gotta get there first. And then otherwise you could see if they're not if you're not a match for them. Maybe you're stronger than them.
Yeah, you're not a match for them because they're organised in their group. You're not really by yourself.
No, but you can organise with your group.
Yeah, but it's not nothing, is it?
Why is it nothing, man? I think that's.
Well, everything's connections, isn't it? You got to have connections. It's where you're willing to go to.
You can gather your people and they gather theirs.
But the governments are all connected. The governments are actually almost one group. And they're all connected worldwide. So it's like, could you really take on a government?
What is it you need to take on?
I'm saying, could you really take on a government?
But that's what I'm asking you. It's also important.
Well, they come in every area, don't they?
The question I'm asking you, what do you need to take on? That's the question to counter your question. If you're
what
saying
you to take on?
What is it you need to do that the government are opposing you on? Why is it that you have to be opposition? Why can't you work with the government?
What is it that I want to do?
Yeah, because you said to me that there's too many people stopping you, and I'm asking you, why is it you can't work with the government? Like, why is it you have to have them as your enemies?
No, I'm saying they're enemies.
But they are enemies if you feel like they're trying to stop you.
No, I'm saying well, that's based on what you're saying. That's what should be happening, isn't it? Really, if I'm trying to do something, then it should really be government that's actually helping me to do it.
But have you ever tried?
Have I ever tried?
Yeah. Have you ever tried to work with the government to get something done? And they didn't help you, or they tried to fuck you up?
No, I haven't tried.
Well, you got to try it because you're telling me that it's not possible.
It's
Saying that you actually put in, you said you're saying that
no,
you're
no.
going to stop you.
If I'm not this government, then it could be another country. Not our government. But I get what you're saying. Though. You're saying action. Just do action. See what happens when you do action. But yeah.
I'm seeing that probably, man. When you get to the top, you're gonna see that you're very unique for getting there. You're gonna be valued because of your uniqueness, and the power you can wield is gonna be really important. The power that you can wield is gonna be quite significant. Hello. The can opener? Yeah. Yeah, here it is. Why didn't you say you need the can opener? Why are you waiting for me to respond? I thought you were trying to come in.
I thought you were in the middle of a phone and everyone just started that.
Yeah, I'm in the middle of it. Why are you wearing that in the house? It's cold, it's hot in here.
Is that long?
No, it's grapefruit.
Hey, friend.
Huh?
Yeah?
Yeah, it's my friend.
Okay. Yeah, you make a living.
Oh, cool, bro.
As well.
So you're gonna introduce yourself to finalize it?
You're gonna cut it?
Yeah, this is the end of the beginning. In the beginning of the end.
Introduce me originally. Because only when I said it is when you did it.
When you said, yeah, because
there's something that he was gonna do anyway. Oh.
I wouldn't know. Introduce me. What I would do now next time is let you introduce yourself. Just say, you know what I mean, I'm Johnny. This is me doing this, that. Then we begin the conversation so that people know who's talking right now, and they know when the conversation's ended. You know,
where are you gonna put this anyway?
This is on YouTube.
Oh, usually you put it on already?
I haven't, no.
Oh, shit.
No, I haven't put it on.
You can put it on YouTube?
Yeah, YouTube. Of course it's on YouTube, man.
I don't know if you talked about the right things there.
No, this is what people want to hear. They want to hear people talk. So
just in general?
In absolute general, man. They don't need anything, any subject. They just need substance. So
no, I don't think it's the best one, but
this is a great one. I'm telling you, man. Episode 3 is really good.
But listen to it first and see if it's worth it.
I listened to it. We played it. We spoke it.
Not that little bit, but I'm saying in general.
There was a conversation about power. There was a conversation about racism. There was a conversation about being able to change reality. Yeah, it's important stuff. It's all going in. But if you want to take something out, no problem. I'll listen to it. Slice that out. Put the right things in. And you can listen to it back. I'll send you the link. I can't say exactly when it's going to be on YouTube, but it should be within the next month. And definitely, you're going to see the channel start to rise up in 2020. Yeah, because I'm going to begin these podcasts, and I'll be doing them throughout the year with different people. I've got different people coming on different days. I'm going to have musicians in here because, you know, that's what I do.
Oh, sick. Yeah, man, I can easily see you getting big in it, huh?
Yeah, no, it's big. It's pretty big, man. That's why I told you to say your name, because then it's like advertising for yourself. You just put yourself out there in the universe and it just blows up bigger. It's big because I already took care to make sure everything is neat. When you came in, it was an instant vibe. You know what I'm saying? Room is clean. There was nothing but what you could say is feng shui. So that's what's going to attract people. It smells good in here. I don't smoke tobacco, so when no one else is smoking tobacco, it's just a clear vibe. Incense sticks, that kind of thing. I know people are going to be coming in here and going to have great conversations. Right? Great conversations. I know a lot of people want to hear the podcast.
Basically, just talking about anything.
We're talking about, we're just talking about life. What do you think of Kanye West?
Kanye West?
Yeah, I gotta ask you that. What do you think of Kanye West? I'm happy you're smiling. What do you think of Kanye West?
Crazy. Extrovert. Spiritual. It's America. He's. Some people like him, some people hate him.
Do you hate him or do you like him?
I respect where he's coming from, so I suppose I do like him. Don't I hate
You
him.
like him, yeah?
Yeah,
That's good that you like him, man. It's good that you can
to be honest, I
see.
like his music, innit? I like what
Okay.
he's done. Don't think I like every single thing, but yeah, I like some things he's done. Yeah. He's down to earth, innit? Person.
Down to earth person, wow, man.
Well, he's a bit.
He's married to Kim Kardashian.
He's a bit.
That's amazing.
Not down to earth, mean more. No, he's just that he's rich. Why does he have to change? My perspective of him. So since down to earth, like, would I get along with him? I think I'd get along with him.
Yeah. What do you think about his bipolar tendencies?
I think we probably all have it, to be honest.
What about the degree he has it? What about to the degree he has it? Because he
The
seems
thing
to have
is,
it a lot more
we're
than
seeing
others.
him on TV, innit? So we're only ever seeing that on TV. We've never seen him when he's not on TV. So we don't know what he's actually really like when he's
Have you ever dealt with bipolar
dealt with it.
as an individual or with other people?
Yeah, I
have
know
it?
people have it.
You have it?
Yeah, no, do I have it?
Yeah.
I would not say that I don't have it.
Well, okay. I don't think you have it because when I spoke to you, you
No,
didn't
no,
seem to switch emotions very quickly. You seem to flow from one motion to the other quite
Yeah,
Seamless.
that's
seamlessly.
in this moment, isn't it? But in another moment, I could have it.
Yeah, but what bipolar is? It seems to be, is in every
Something that
moment.
is uncontrollable.
In every moment, there
Yeah, when
controllable
as someone that has it.
moods. As someone who has it quite harsh.
Yeah, but there has to be a start, innit? There has to be a time when it started at one time, and then it may not have happened again for a long time, then it happened again, so forth.
I think it's cool that you ride a bike. I want a bike.
Yeah, I know, stopping.
No, I just think it's cool. I think it's cool that you ride one too. I wasn't thinking of getting one before.
It's a quick way of getting around, isn't it?
Yeah, it's nice, man.
It's cheap as well.
Is it safe?
Is it safe? I'd say so.
Yeah, man.
Well, it's
'Cause your one's a
it's
fast
the
one.
rider, isn't it? It's the person who's riding it that
Your
makes it safe.
one's a fast one. No, I'm just saying, like, the roads, you think it's just...
Look,
Have you...
definitely you're gonna have to learn to ride.
Do you want to go to Nigeria?
I've been.
When you went there, what did you like?
What did I do?
What was the year? What did you do?
Just go around, see different cities, different people, done different activities. Meant to be in cinema in Nigeria.
This is a good conversation. Let me tell you why it's a good conversation.
That's what
We're both from Nigeria and the Caribbean too. We both have the same mixture in different months.
That's what we should have the podcast about.
Well, no, that's what we're talking about now.
Yeah, well, that's right in a second.
That's what number 4 will be about, or the next one.
But yeah, it would be a good conversation.
What do you feel like the differences between the Caribbeans and the Nigerians or the Africans? Why do they?
But
Yeah.
technically they're the same people, or some people are the same, innit? Some Caribbeans are literally Asians or Indians. They behave differently. But at the same time, you can still see the slim similarities.
But the music's very different.
Yeah.
The Caribbean, they seem to have very sexually overt music.
Not all though, they've got reggae,
Not
soca,
all, but
they've got different things there.
But the extreme of that,
So,
there doesn't seem to be like an African
Reggae.
super sexual music. That's like they're not well known for that. Like the Caribbean is very known for theirs.
yeah, they got Africa, they got drums. They got what do you call it? Afrobeats.
Afrobeats is cool, man, but it's not super sexual.
And they got their own music as well.
It's not the
Their
dagga
own
dagga dagga
their
dagga
own
music.
native music.
It's not dagga 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 dagga.
No, you completely see that it's a different culture, innit? So, you know, you have to respect it, innit? I don't think you should say this one's better than that one.
No, I say, what's the difference? When you have you been to the Caribbean?
Is that?
You've ever been to the Caribbean? Jamaica or something?
I haven't. I've been to St. Lucia
Yeah?
and Trinidad
What was it
and
like?
Tobago. Yeah, beautiful.
What was
Very,
the girl?
very green.
What was the girls like?
Beautiful, man. don't know if I'm not saying every single girl was beautiful. There's obviously nice girls.
Because the Saint Lucia was the one that was it was the French that was in Saint Lucia.
Yeah.
And then so a lot of them have green eyes. I have to be very careful.
I don't think I ever saw anyone with green eyes, but
I have to be very careful with who I have children with.
was that who you have children with?
Yeah.
Why?
Because the wife is super important.
Wife.
Super important for a lot of the characteristics. I think it's actually I think. Oh, thanks, man. This will be more helpful for you. I think the wife, because the children inherit the mitochondriac from the mother only. It's the only cell and it's the only organ in the body. That is inherited solely from the mother. Here it is.
So that your knee, your leg.
Huh?
That your leg clicking out.
No, I don't know what that sound was.
police? What was that called?
No, that's just improvisation.
Something he's done, sir. Look at it.
Yeah, no.
Beautiful.
Thank you, brother. I'm just happy I could do that before you leave.
Yeah, I appreciate it more than ever, bro.
Oh, yeah? Oh, it's cool because it was recorded too.
Yeah, that's good. Good record of it.
Cool, man. I'm probably not going to show that because it's kind of a surprise. I don't want to.
Honoured to be in that presence of the man, Mac Aqua.
Thank you for coming through today, brother.
Aquaman.
Appreciate it, man. It's good to meet you, man. Because you told me about music. I told you one of the things in my life I want to do is be a professor of music. I want to have instruction, one-to-one with people that really are serious about music. Not really serious about the technical relationship. The technical thing, that's something more about your relationship to, you know, your higher self. I think that your dedication to the technical thing, that's something, if you're a perfectionist, you're going to be a perfectionist. That's something that you do. But music is something that we can develop a love for that, and that is something that is not technical. That's about heart and about feeling. So one-to-one, that's what it's about, man. I don't want to. I'm very much an ambassador of the craft. Whenever I see children who aren't technically orientated, I don't tell them to get off the keyboard. I don't do that. I just make sure that I have conversations with their parents and ask them, do they have a piano at home? If they don't have a piano at home, I say, do they have a MIDI keyboard? If they don't have a MIDI keyboard at home, I'm just like, alright, get the kid a MIDI keyboard. You can plug headphones in the MIDI keyboard so the children can play at night, and it's not going to disturb you. Because I think pianos, they're quite loud, and people are scared of buying them. Number one, space and all that kind of thing, but they are loud, and if the child doesn't really have great technical ability at first, then you're going to hear a lot of mistakes, a lot of these kind of noises, you know, and things that sound kind of unpleasant. Yeah.
That messes it up.
Well, it's just a bit unpleasant to hear. Exercises. Got your jacket.
Oh.
Everything's blessed.
What time is it?
I can tell you the exact time.
Don't do that.
Well, it's already recorded. Do you want me to cut it? You don't want me to put that one on?
No, cut it.
What?
I can send something to you.
Huh? What'd you say? I can cut it, no problem. I would never put anything in it you don't want in it. That's cool. If you don't feel like even introducing yourself, man, it's cool because you just asked me to introduce you, and then I asked you to introduce yourself, and now you don't want me to cut.
No, I'm not saying that. I was just saying in general.
In general.
Was it something you wanted to do, but you didn't really?
Was what something?
From New Cross.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright.
My name's Johnny B. From New Cross.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nah, don't do that.
Well, it's already recorded. You want me to cut it? You don't want me to put that one on?
No, cut it.
What?
I can say if I can send something to you.
Huh? What'd you say? I can cut it, no problem. I would never put anything in it you don't want in it. That's cool. If you don't feel like even introducing yourself, man, it's cool, because you just asked me to introduce you. And then I asked you to introduce yourself,
No,
and
no,
now you don't want me to cut it.
No, I'm not saying that. I was just saying in general.
In general.
Was it something you wanted to do, but you didn't really
Was what something, brother?
to introduce me originally? Because only when I said it is when you did it. I'm saying
When you said, yeah, because
it's something that he was going to do anyway. Oh.
I would now introduce you. What I would do now next time is let you introduce yourself. Just say, you know what I mean, I'm Johnny. This is me doing this, that. Then we begin the conversation so that people know who's talking right now.